Hey guys, in this video I'm going to share with you a couple of small problems I had with the new TK Pro from Mooncool. Now these were easily fixed, but I thought I would bring you this video to help you in case you run into the same problems. So here we go. I want to start by saying that the packaging of the Mooncool TK Pro was very good. They had this very well packaged, and so that's why I was a little surprised that I still had some damage. And I'm going to take it over here to the left fender and show you that the left fender is gouged pretty good because it's still, it was rubbing up against something. We didn't see what it was. We'd already had it unpackaged and unfolded when we realized that. So I don't know what it was rubbing up against, but you may run into some kind of damage like that. And if so, contact Mooncool right away on their Facebook page. That's the best way to reach them and let them know so they can get that fixed for you. Another problem we had was with the seat post. Now the seat post, the original seat post is stuck up. The mechanism right up here that attaches to the seat, it was missing. So part of the bolt had came out and part of the mechanism was missing, and we couldn't find it right away. So I went ahead and grabbed my favorite seat post that I was going to put on here anyway, and I was going to put it in. That's when I discovered the next little problem, and that is the tube that they use right here to hold the seat post is not a standard size. It's not one that, if you're using the same style seat post that I am, this Zoom brand, you're gonna find that they don't make one that fits. And that's because, if I can get this open, that's because down inside here, the tube is just a little bigger, and it requires a 31.8 diameter seat post. Okay, if you can see that, 31.8. But Zoom doesn't make a 31.8. So what I had is I had a 27.2, and I had to go out and find this little adapter right here. Okay, this is a 27.2 and it changes it to a 31.8. So this is a 31.8 tube. It fits in there perfectly. Now I can add my favorite Zoom seat post in there just like that, and then go ahead and lock it down. Okay, right out of the box we also had another small problem, and that was the front brakes were rubbing, and it's a real easy adjustment. How you can tell, first, if you hear the noise, the squeak, or the rubbing noise, what you want to do is you want to come up here in front of the bike, or front of the trike, and you want to look down there, past the rotor. If I can show you, past the rotor right here, your brake pads are those red pieces down there. And if you look carefully, if my camera will focus, you can see just a little bit of daylight on the right side, and a little bit of daylight on the left side. That's what you want. But my problem is the brakes were not adjusted properly, and one side was constantly rubbing on the rotor, and you don't want that. It's real easy fix. All you have to do is loosen this and loosen this right here, and by doing that, this whole caliper can slide and move around. And what you do is you just lighten it tightly so that you can still move the caliper a little bit, come back up here in the front, and you wiggle it around until you make sure you can see daylight on both sides of this rotor. And once you do, go ahead and carefully tighten these down, making sure that the rotor doesn't move when you tighten these down. And from there, that rubbing noise was gone. Now we had another squeak that developed, and it didn't do it initially the first couple of miles, and then it started developing, and I was like, oh no, what's wrong with this thing, right? And I thought it was the brakes back here, but these brakes are fine. You can look way down there, you can see the red. You can see there's just a little bit of daylight on both sides of that rotor. So we know those are fine. So after investigating a little bit, I discovered that right down here, they have this chain tensioner. And that's the one that's down, the little pulley that's down here in the bottom. That was squeaking just a little bit. And I'll show you down here if I can. Yeah. It developed a little squeak. All I did was put just a little drop of oil on it, fixed it, no problem. Everything was cleared up after that. Now another problem I had, and this was actually during the assembly process, and that is, back here, you have the wires that go to these tail lights that are back here on the fender. And this one was long enough, but when I got over here, this wire was really short, and it wouldn't make the connection to the plug here that's attached to the back light. So what we had to do is right up underneath here, you see they have these zip ties right on the frame. That's help to hold the wires. There's another one right over here, and I had to cut that one loose. So by cutting that one loose, see, it gave me enough slack so I could plug this in over here. So you may have to do something like that. Another thing to be careful about, and that is this wire that comes out from this light right here. Make sure there's no chance of it rubbing on the tire and getting caught on the tire. So what I did is I pulled mine out, as you can see, and I wrapped it around this support right here. That support helps hold that wire away from the tire inside there to make sure that it's not going to get caught on the tire and start rubbing and get damaged. Over here, because this wire was routed just a little bit differently, it was already longer. I didn't have to wrap it quite the same, but still, it goes up, it goes over this. Actually, I should probably put that on this side, huh? I might need to change that so it's over here. But you see that? It could still touch. So that's a change. I'll just undo it right here, move it to this side and plug it in. And then may take a zip tie or something and tie it up right here, just to hold it nice and tight so we don't have so much slack there. So those are some of the little things that you want to look for when you get your trike, and you just make some small fine-tune adjustments. Another one I think I'm going to have to make, I was noticing earlier, I think my handlebars aren't lined up exactly with the tire. They seem like they're cocked just a little bit. So I may have to make that adjustment, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll get Mrs. Adventure's opinion on that one. Guys, that's it. Real small little adjustments, real small little problems. Hopefully this video helps you. If it does, give me a like and a comment down below. I'll see you guys in another video real soon.